Hello, beautiful people. If you're new here, I'm Coco Indigo, and welcome to the Indigo Experience, where beauty meets healing, motherhood meets magic. And every week, we find a way to get back to ourselves just a little bit more. Now, this week, we're focusing on returning to yourself, healing through rituals. We're going to talk a little bit about how our beauty routines are not just routines. They are grounding practices, ways to center, and ways to show up for yourself when life is just feeling real heavy. And while we talk, I'm going to show you how I create my soft 90s fine body curls using just a 2-inch curling barrel and my silver duck clips to pin them. That way we get a nice set with every piece. This look is so classic and soft and feminine, and honestly, curling my hair has become one of my most favorite beauty rituals. Before we start curling though, I want to set our intention. This whole month is about slowing down and being present in our bodies and reconnecting with the versions of ourselves that we tend to forget about. The one before all the chaos, the burnout, the one before the stress. Now, I've already washed and blow dried my hair last night, and I went ahead and put them in these like bantu knots, and I wrapped them with a satin ponytail holder. See, a little satin ponytail holder. And just so my hair wouldn't frizz and I didn't have to wrap it. But look, it made these really cute waves that I'm kind of feeling right now. But this isn't the look that I'm going for today. I really want these body curls. So that way I have something that'll last a little longer. This is actually really pretty. Oh my gosh. Yeah, but I want more body, as you can see. Like it's too flat for me. So I want to go ahead and get started on these curls. First, I'm going to start by sectioning my hair into 4 sections. I usually go like from the top of my head here all the way behind the back of my ear. That kind of helps me mark the front section. Then I'm gonna clip that away. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. Right behind the ear. Now, the reason I take the time and section into 4 sections because it makes the hair easier to control. It's harder to get every piece of hair wrapped around your curling barrel when you're not using clean sections. So I'm gonna start off in the back actually. We're creating that big soft movement like Aaliyah 90s soft glam. That way, if I get caught in the rain, it still has this volume and this body and it's not like completely out of control. I'm gonna start with this back section. I'll take our time and comb that out. I like to go in with the Cara Platinum Holding Spray. I think it's the number 26. This is the finishing spray. But this, I think, is what gives me a good hold. But before I add that, I'm gonna go in with some heat protectant. I think this is the FHI heat protectant spray, but I'm gonna spray some on my hands so that it's not oversaturating the piece in one spot, and work it all the way through because we never want to use any heating tools, flat iron, curling iron, blow dryer without putting a heat protectant on the hair. This is what keeps your hair from being burned out, okay? And dried out, and we don't want that. We want healthy hair. So we're gonna always use a heat protectant from root to end. Take the section. Usually I only take sections about the same I guess height. I guess this would be height. So if I'm putting the curling iron this way, you want to choose sections that are just about the same width as that. That's gonna help make sure we get all the hair wrapped around the barrel. You want all the hair wrapped around the barrel because that's what's going to give the look that you want. Now at the bottom, I like to curl it upward. So instead of starting like this, with the open part of the curling iron at the top, we're gonna flip her down. So the open part is actually at the bottom there. That's what's gonna make it a little bit easier to curl upward. So I'm gonna hit the roots a little bit, smooth that out, By the way, this curling iron is only on 375 because we don't want to burn our hair out. We do not need to use high heat. I have what I consider fine hair, but with a medium density. That means I have a lot of small hairs, but it's a lot of them in 1 square inch. So I have a lot of hair in each square inch. That's what makes my hair appear thick. But just because it appears thick does not mean you need to use high heat. I always use medium heat, never on maximum. I'm gonna smooth that, hit her with a little bit of spray. Use my comb to smooth her out. And then we're gonna curl upward. And I'm gonna wrap my hair around this barrel about maybe 3 or 4 times. It just depends on how long how long your hair is. All right, that's 3. Okay, so I still got a little bit left. I'm gonna have to feed the hair through. Being careful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You only need to hold the curling iron on the hair for about 5 seconds. I slid the barrel out, so I'm still holding the curl in my hand. Look, see, still holding the curling hair. I don't even want to let that curl drop. I want her to stay just like that. And I'm gonna take one of these clips, boom, and I'm gonna clip her at the base. So I'm gonna take a little bit of hair at the base and put the other, so one of the bills, the bottom bill slides against my scalp at the base. And then the other little, I don't know, duck bill here goes through the middle of the curl, and we're just gonna slide her in like that. Boom, there you go. There you go. And that's how we pin the curl. We're gonna continue that all the way up the head because the longer you can let your curl sit, the better. I personally prefer to allow somewhere around 20 minutes, a minimum of 20 minutes. So once you curl that last curl, it needs to be set for about 20 minutes. 20 minutes in order to hold properly. So let's go ahead and finish curling this backside. All right, we're on the second piece. I'm gonna spray her from top to bottom, distribute that product. And remember, we're curling this upward. Curling it up, we're gonna hold. Oh, she's all the way in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're gonna slide her out. Slide this curling iron out. And that there is a ritual. It's the way you slow down. It's the way you choose to be intentional about the direction of the curl and how you set it. Use that same logic when it comes to your life. Be very intentional. Wake up today and choose to have a good day. Regardless of what happens today, today is gonna be a good day. Be intentional about the way that you dress yourself, a way that you speak, the way that you treat other people. Will you take the time out to be thoughtful and considerate of yourself and how you reflect your beliefs onto the rest of the world, then, you know, the world will become a better place. Be intentional. The same way I'm intentional about these curls is the same way you need to be intentional about your life. It's the way you choose to be intentional. Every pin curl is saying, I deserve this moment. I deserve this softness. Because I do. And honestly, beauty rituals have saved me so many times. They're the moments where I get to breathe, reset, and feel like myself again. Not just a mom, not just an entrepreneur, not just a version of me that's going nonstop. Like, I really get to just focus on me in this moment. Like right now, my kids are in school and I've been studying all morning, and I decided to take a break from studying to, you know, get myself right for the day. I try my best not to be one of those hairstylists that her kids' hair stay done and her clients' hair stay done, but her hair don't be done. Because I honestly do believe that I am my own walking advertisement. All right, I'm gonna get started on this other side in the back. Get that a little bit of heat protectant. And work that on through. we gonna protect our hair. That's one thing we gonna do. We gonna protect our hair from that heat. See that shine? That's just on my natural hair. Because I use a heat protectant. Yeah. I want to take a moment right here to share a little personal story, because I think so many of us feel this, but never say it out loud. Not too long ago, I realized I was pouring from a half-empty cup between working in a salon 5 days a week, 8 to 10 hours a day, while also taking care of my kids, taking my sons to behavior therapy 5 days a week, doing speech therapy, private speech therapy sessions twice a week, doing occupational therapy sessions with them once a week. And I'm running a business and probably get a break 4 days out of the month. That's all their other parent wants to do. I had to realize that showing up for everybody else and accept myself, I forgot how to show up for myself after a while. And this was shortly after, this was a couple years ago. I was really at a point where I was just burning out. I asked for help, couldn't get much help, because we all talk about that village, but when it's time to actually show up, people don't want to show up for other people. And I forgot how good it felt like to slow down and just sit and be with myself and tell myself all the things that I needed to remember. Like, I am strong and I can do this. This month's thing really hit home for me, because it reminded me that the rituals we neglect are the ones that reconnect us to who we are. I've always been the girl with nice hair, whether I had shoulder length hair or hair down my back, or I did a quick weave, I did a sew-in. I always kept my hair up. So just because I became a mother does not necessarily mean that that's all I am and that's all I can show up as and that's all I deserve to be. I deserve to be Coco, the same Coco who keeps herself up even if it's just a grocery store run. That was me before I was a mother. That was me before I was a business owner. That was me before everything. And that's going to continue to be me. So getting back to those rituals that made me feel like me. I've always felt good when I looked nice. That's always been, and I'm realizing that that's always been a big thing for my mental health. I was the little girl that used to get in trouble. I used to get told, this is not a beauty salon in elementary school. Or I was the little girl that got told, this is not a beauty pageant, because I'm in the middle of class putting on my lip gloss and putting on my lotion, keeping a little, little pencil holders, keep like a mini deodorant and maybe a bar of soap. And like my little care kit, I always kept that on me, because I never wanted to, while I was going through a lot as a kid, I never wanted to feel like what I was going through. Like, I never wanted to look like what I was feeling like at the time. A big thing for me psychologically was, at least I don't look like what I've been through. So just because we having it rough at home don't mean my hair got to be all over my head. I kept a mini brush in my, and kept a ponytail holder in my bag and kept myself up, because I didn't want anyone to feel sorry for me. I didn't want anyone to even know or have an inkling that I was going through what I was going through, because it's nobody's business. And let's be honest, kids in elementary school, middle school, even high school even, they're mean. They're very mean. Like when I was in school, how I emotionally regulated from being overstimulated at home, under-supported, not loved, not being cared for at home, I gave it to myself. I literally had to be the source of my own stability, even as a kid. And I did not realize that until I got older and I went to therapy. Gotta go talk to the lady, y'all. It's the connection that I have with making myself look good and feel good and celebrating myself. That was what it's about. Like I might have had a bad day, but my nails are done. This Manny is so freaking cute. I might have had a rough day. Like I might have had a rough day, but at least my nail polish is cute. I might not have done as well as I wanted to on that English test, but my hair's done. So, I'll be okay. I'll survive. That's literally always been my mindset. And that's been how I've connected with beauty my whole life. And so this is less about vanity. Keeping up myself, it keeps me sane. Because I do not have to look like what I've been through. I don't have to feel ugly and look ugly at the same time. Like, no, something's got to give. We got to have a balance. My motto is, the situation might look bad, but I'm better. You know, you get it? Like, it might be tough, but I'm tougher. And I adapted that mindset. I don't think it's a badge of honor to neglect yourself because you're a mom, because you work all day. That's all the more reason to be nice to yourself, be kind to yourself. So if you're watching this, I want you to think about your own rituals. What did you do that you stopped doing that made you feel good? What do you need to return to? Okay, moving on to these front sections. Same process, but we're going to curl my hair. The bottom layer is going to be curled away from my face, and then the front, this top part, I'm actually going to curl towards my face because I want to give that curtain bang effect without actually having to cut my bangs into curtain bangs, if you understand what I'm saying. All right, let's get to it. Nice sections. Get that out the way. Because I still want the thickness and fullness. So I didn't flat iron my hair beforehand because I don't want these curls I don't want it silky. I don't want my hair silky straight. I actually want to utilize the fact that I actually have curl and volume in my hair. Like, work with my hair instead of against my hair. Especially here in Georgia, it's been particularly humid lately. Here's what I've learned. Rituals don't have to be complicated. They don't even have to be expensive. And they don't have to be perfect. Sometimes the healing is in repetition. Because when you can show up consistently for yourself, it builds a level of confidence in you that even if no one else shows up for you, you know for a fact, without a shadow of a doubt, that you're going to show up for yourself because you do it all the time. See, men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. So if you can account for the days that you shown up for yourself, regardless of how you felt, whether you were motivated or not, whether you were happy or not, whether you had money or not, you still showed up for yourself mentally, emotionally, even physically. It's in the way you wrap each curl with intention. It's the way you pin it and say, I'm worth the time that it takes to set this. Every piece gets the same love, just like every part of you deserves. Not just the parts that people see, but all of you. Now with this front piece, I'm gonna curl it forward, going towards my face. I already have my heat protectant on it. We're gonna spray. I'm gonna hit these roots. Smooth the roots out, and we're gonna curl towards my face. Oops, a little hot. I didn't have all the hair by mistake. We're gonna start wrapping. The hair is gonna go towards this side. So we're gonna release the curl going towards this side, the opposite direction. We're just gonna curl her towards the face. did smooth those out, but not too much though. Notice I didn't use no flat iron, no hot comb. Instead of just blown out and frizzy, it can set smoothly. You're gonna spray, 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 spray. Hit them roots. The trick to getting a nice firm curl is only taking pieces the same width and length of the curling iron. If the piece is too wide, then all of the hair is not going to be able to wrap around the curling iron and get an even distribution of heat. So we really want to make sure we're using pieces that's only the same length and width of the curling iron. Nothing more. This going forward towards my face. Hit my roots. Rotate towards the face. Towards my face. Can curl it and do the same for this front area. Get my roots. This time with this side, I have to make sure that the ends go towards that way, towards the opposite side. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but trust me on this. This is where you get the volume. So remember, I curled all the bottom, like below my eyebrow, that is being curled upward. And my top layers, this one in the back was curled back. And this in the front is being curled forward. I feel like curling hair like the opposite direction, that's usually what gets me like the maximum volume. Let me know if you tried this method before and how did it work out for you. But this is how the curls are looking. So now that everything is pinned, and we're gonna let this sit for at least 10 to 15 minutes, 20 if possible. Like the last curl that I just did needs to sit for about 15, maybe 20 minutes. This cooling time is the difference between curls that fall in an hour and curls that last all day. Now, I want to use this cooling time as a reminder that you deserve moments that make your life easier. If you've been feeling disconnected, return to your rituals. If you've been pouring into everyone else, return to yourself. Okay, let's take these babies down. When you unpin, let the curls fall naturally. Don't run your fingers through just yet. Let each curl just drop and hold this shape. They're looking good so far, y'all. Do you like? And it's all in the back. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Big, soft movement. This is real 90s fine. This is real 90s fine. That's what I was going for. Just big. Okay, now I'm gonna comb everything out gently with my wide tooth comb because I've sprayed these down pretty good and I don't want it to have too much hairspray on there. So I'm gonna start in the back. Brush and comb straight down. Ooh. Oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. Yes. Okay, so I do feel like I want more volume up here, so I'm going to there we go. Yes. And you see the roots, everything is not completely silked out, so I like this. This is giving 90s fine. It's giving, yes, effortless. I'm not going to lay my edges. I'm gonna just kind of brush them, comb them a little bit, but I'm not gonna lay my edges because I really want that 90s fine look. I don't want my edges perfectly laid down and flat. I actually prefer a little bit of texture, not to have it perfectly laid out. That way once it puffs, it's not like super sleek. I'm natural. I've been natural for over 15 years. I anticipate my real hair responding to the weather like it naturally should. So if she puffs up, she still is giving very much volume. And this is my real hair. Yes, 90s fine. It's giving Robin giving some boomerang. Oh, it's giving Sally Richardson's character on Low Down Dirty Shame when she was just this fabulous money getting, body snatched, 90s fine. And that's what I'm going for. What you think? How do you think this turned out? And there it is, soft, fluffy, feminine, full of body, just a whole mood. Oh, you know what this looks like? This is giving Monica from Girlfriends. You know, the bougie and very, very much classy Keisha Sharp. It's giving, it's 90s fine. 90s fine, just, I love it. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. This wasn't just a hair tutorial. This was a reminder that beauty is healing, rituals matter, and you deserve softness even when life feels hard. If this episode resonated with you, drop a comment below and tell me what ritual you're gonna return to this week. And of course, subscribe to the Indigo Experience so you never miss a moment of beauty, healing, and purpose. I love you, I see you, and I'll see you next Thursday at 7. Stay soft, stay grounded, stay indigo.